Well, we've got a good scarf joint. That's the bottom side of it. You see there's almost perfect wood to wood. Top side doesn't look so good because the thickness of them is about, well, plus the way the saw cuts at the very top, you know, it gives it opens it up a little bit more, so it shows a little bit more. Plus they're little different heights, maybe 10, 15,000, 20 thousandths over here. So anyways, it doesn't look like it matches up. But what I do now is I just grab this thing from quite a ways back, and I'll sit there and I'll just shake that length of it. See how long that is? Sticking out. Here's the joint. So I got 6.5 feet or something like that sticking out. And I'll grab it way back and I'll try to see if I can snap it. And of course it's not going to snap. That's the strongest part of the whole stick. Okay, now the next thing you're going to do is, well, you want to verify, or you already should have verified, the thickness of this is fairly even. Mine doesn't vary more than 10 thousandths over the length of it, about 725 to 735 thousandths. So just under 3/4 of an inch this direction. But what we're concerned with is that the slot remains the same depth, the full length of it. So just rock that back through there, and I've got 152 thousandths, and it's within about 5 thousandths of that, and the whole length of that. That's really accurate. So now we'll go to the end of this thing. If we can get that back in the corner far enough, we go to the end of this, and this is what we're concerned with right here, because now we've got to cut the web that fits between the two spars. So 565 thousandths, and we know it's going to be pretty much the same, the full length, but we will go to the far end and check the same. So at the far end it's 552 thousandths, so just over 10 thousandths difference. So we're going to go with the thickest 565 thousandths, and I've got these up in the rafters, so I'm going to go up and measure a few more of them and make sure that that distance, the thickness of between the bottom of the slot and the top of it, is relatively the same. And I'm going to take one of the higher numbers, or the highest number I find, double it, and subtract it. So you have to measure the width of the rib right behind the main guide there for the main spar, 683 thousandths, and I've averaged it out to about 678, about 680. No, what was it? I don't know. But I'll measure a bunch of these, and I'll get the smallest one, and then the distance I get across here from the smallest one, I will subtract 2 times this width from it, and that's how thick the web needs to, that's how wide the web needs to be. So after checking this selection of ribs, they vary between 6 inches, 780 thousandths, right across here, right where the web, or the spar fits, and 6 inches, 780 thousandths, and 6 inches, 800 thousandths. So they only vary about 20 thousandths of an inch. So that's pretty good. Now, this here is a better way to show the example of how you're going to cut that web. That web needs to fit right there. See that? That's where the spar fits right in there, and it'll butt up against that there riser right there. So you need to subtract this distance and this distance to get your web. how wide your web's going to be. And we know the distance of this, well, I'll have to remeasure it. I can't remember what I said it was. So you subtract that twice for that side and this side, and from this here distance between there. And that's how wide you make the 1/8 inch plywood web.